So what kind of music do you produce?
I produce mostly hip hop and rap music. I like to use different elements from different forms of music. For instance, my favorite genre is 80s rock ballads. I like to get that kind of influence into my music, so it doesn't sound just like regular hip hop or rap. It is also infused with such sounds as that.
So that flows actually pretty well into my next question. Who or what do you consider your main influences and inspirations?
Main influences and inspirations. My biggest inspiration, my favorite artist of all time, Phil Collins. His album 1985, No Jacket Required, is like one of my favorite albums of all time. I pull a lot from that. Also pulling from the rap and hip hop atmosphere, Kanye West, because he kind of goes all over the place and really doesn't sacrifice his, or at least seemingly doesn't sacrifice his art for the sake of listeners. He kind of just puts it all out there and tries to get his point across, and that's kind of what I go for as well.
How do you come up with the ideas for your songs?
It changes based on the song or what I'm feeling. I usually go based off of an emotion, and that's how I get to producing, because it just flows out of you, like what I want to hear, what I'm feeling, and then put that into my production, and then from what I'm feeling comes out the lyrics. So it's like a two-step process whenever I'm making my own records. So it's very free form. I don't really like to put myself in a box. It'll be whatever I'm feeling at the moment, and then from that, what I want to write and how I want to get it out to people, because you can't really put it out raw, because not everybody's going to get some reference that you make to your second grade life. You have to put that into perspective for the listener.
What is the process that you usually go through producing a song?
It's a very organic process. So first I'm like, what am I feeling right now? Kind of like I said for the last part. What am I feeling right now? Then I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to say about this feeling? Or what do I want to say about anything? And it like I said, it varies. So it could be what am I feeling, or it could be what do I want to say right now, or what have I been thinking about for the last hour or years or whatever that I want to get across and I think is important. Or what do I just want to get off my chest, because it's very therapeutic sometimes as well. So it all kind of depends, but once I get what that basis is, I then go and say, okay, how do I want to get that out? Because it's not always, it doesn't have to be a rap, it doesn't have to be a singing song, it doesn't have to be an instrumental only, it can be a combination, or it can be none of those. Who do I want to get for this song? Like, who would be better versed in doing this thing than me?
So like, who are you going to collaborate with?
Right. Or if I'm going to collaborate with anybody. It's a very rare case where I do collaborate, because I like to get myself and what I feel on it. Not everybody has the same view, so if I put out my view, that it's my art, as opposed to somebody else's where it's not. It kind of all, it's a different process every single time. I kind of like that, because if it's the same thing, it's just like you're a machine putting out the same song, and that's boring. And part of the reason why I like making music is because it's so different every single time. It's the same kind of art form, but you can do so many things with it, and you can change it up, and I like the building aspect. And usually the recording process takes almost as long as the actual thought process of it, because the thought process is long, but the recording process, I want to get everything correct, so it could take anywhere from 25 minutes to record to a day to record something if I want to get everything correct. And then sometimes you'll go back after you've recorded, say, oh, I've heard the song 5 times, I want to change my delivery, or I want to change my flow or whatever on it.
What are your plans for the future of your music?
Oh, wow. Well, I have a lot of plans. I'm very much a future thinker anyway, so from the beginning of when I do a lot of my recording and stuff like that, I think about the long-standing. For me, I want to be one of the artists that you look back over their stuff and you say, oh, well, it's been very consistent and very good throughout the entire process, but he's learned a lot and he's gained a lot of different views and stuff like that. Taking an artist like Michael Jackson, for instance, that sort of same thing where you're like, well, you look back at that stuff and it's still great, like it's not bad, and then you look at the Thriller album, which was like his, golden time for making music, amazing. You look at his older stuff and you're like, not terrible, but didn't have the same impact as Thriller, for instance. But you still look at all of it and you're like, this is a legend. I want to kind of have that same kind of legacy. Like, I've always thought about what's my legacy, so every song is not just some random ramblings of teenage kid or adolescent kid or whatever. It has a purpose to what I want this music to mean 30 years down the line, 50 years down the line. So having that big future view, in the next couple months or years or whatever, I want to kind of just build a core audience. You can't go anywhere without having some people that actually care about what you're doing, beyond just, hey, I'm this guy's friend, I listen to the music.
You need those loyal listeners.
Yes, you need those people that actually care about the music itself, not just the person behind it.